Welcome to the Business Power Hour with Darren and the Music Man. Brought to you by Friend Entertainment USA, producing the best concerts for charities and corporations for over 30 years. And CBMS Consulting Services, control your business before it controls you. In association with Area 22 Productions, your multimedia streaming network. Now, here is Darren and the Music Man.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Business Power Hour at Darren and the Music Man. Happy Halloween. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. We're going to have a good time because, you know what, we got a real special guest here tonight. We got somebody that actually makes the lives of charities and nonprofit organizations that much better. And what he does is he helps them sustain themselves. And he helps them sustain themselves through fundraising. So I want to introduce you to my very special guest tonight, all right? The Music Man himself, Mr. Norman Wasserman. Welcome, Norman.
Well, I'm happy to be here.
All right, so
nice costume.
You like that, huh?
Yeah,
This is my costume. I like your costume.
Black. Yeah. Well, I'm.
You know what? I was expecting you to be in the shiny jacket that you wear during your shows.
Yeah, that would have been pretty cool.
Right? That would have been cool. I guess, but they're too expensive to take out in days like this, right?
No. I just didn't feel like wearing. Anyway, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I have been gone for so long. For those of you that don't know who or what I am, I've missed, about 12 shows?
You've missed quite a few, yeah.
12,
I mean, a couple of weeks you were in, you weren't feeling too good, but...
Been sick, been in a hospital. Darren and I kind of figured we wanted to do something different tonight, also because it's Halloween. But we always have guests that we advertise what their businesses are and what they're all about. And I thought of the idea of talking about what Darren does and talking about what I do. So I think it's my turn.
It's your turn.
To talk about it.
So we're going to talk about you and your company, right? Friend Entertainment USA.
Yes, 30 years.
30 years you've been doing this.
30 years. We did our first show in April of 1988.
Right.
For the Jericho Athletic Association.
So tell me how you got into this.
I have no freaking idea. I have no idea, but
you know, but that's not an uncommon story. A lot of our guests come in there and go, "Well, it just kind of fell into my lap." So,
well, here's
what were you doing before? What were you doing when you were a kid? I'm going to ask you a Norman question. When you were a kid on a playground, thinking, "What I'm going to be when I grow up," did you ever think you'll be doing this?
That's the same question I ask everybody else.
I know that's the same question.
I wanted to be an attorney.
Okay.
I really wanted
to be a nice Jewish attorney.
No, I just wanted to be an attorney. You know, Jewish has nothing to do with it, but if it fit in, you know, it would have been fine. But yeah, I wanted to be an attorney, and then I decided I didn't want to be an attorney. I had a death in the family. My mom died when I was 10 years old, so that kind of like changed things a bit for me. But I'd always loved music.
Right.
Music was my thing, and when my mom died, music is what got me through the world.
Right.
That's what it was. It just kept me going and kept me going. So as I got older and I got married, my kids joined the Little League. I have 3 daughters.
Right.
They all played softball, and Dad became president of the Little League. And Dad was looking for a fundraiser.
So now, you had to look for a fundraiser. Now you had to raise money.
Now you're the president, and you got to raise money. And that's why I'm able to do the things that I'm able to do for other charities. So that being said, we put together a committee, 15 people, 16 plus myself. We all voted to do this fundraiser, which was a oldies doo-wop concert. And everyone's, yeah, let's do this. Boom, 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 boom. Great, good. So we had to do 2 shows in one night in order to make a living.
Okay.
for this particular thing. The ticket prices were $15 a shot.
Okay.
Okay? There's 841 seats, 1,600 seats. Gave everybody 50 seats.
Right.
Go out and sell them. All these people are entrepreneurs, business owners, senior level people in major companies, and they gave me all the tickets back.
And they gave you everything
Every
back.
ticket
so you
back
make it
except
done.
for no, except for one of my friends who sold $1,500 worth of seats.
Okay.
Now the show was $16,000.
Wow.
The shows today are $10,000, $12,000,
Right.
$16,000. So it was the same.
So you really learned how to manage that. And,
Oh,
and
we
get
learned
the
to manage
prices.
because by the time we got done,
So
we made $6,000.
Right. Okay.
Not so terrible.
Right.
So you were going to ask.
So now, you know, with what you're talking about and how you're doing things, you work with charities.
That's 95% of what I do is help raise money for charities.
And you got a lot of shows coming up in the next month or so, right? So, you know, like we were talking about the Neil Diamond show that's coming up on, was it November 3rd, right?
We just did a show Saturday night. We did.
You did the Donna Summer
Donna
one.
Summer
Unfortunately,
show,
I
yeah.
couldn't make that show. But we got this show coming up, and, you know, if we can put that graphic up for that show, we got this show for Neil Diamond. Tell us about that show and what's going on with
There
that.
isn't really much to say about it. Neil Diamond, the gentleman Tommy Lynn, who plays Neil Diamond, it's a tribute show.
So it's a tribute band. Is
Yeah.
it mostly tribute bands that you work with?
Mostly tribute
Okay.
band. There are occasional real life performers like Tommy James and the Shondells and some other groups that we do use as well. But we have the Bee Gees. We have.
Yeah, but let's talk a little bit. Let's talk about the charity you're helping with this particular show.
This is a very interesting charity. It's a very. They're based out of New Jersey. The show is in Queens Theater in the Park. It's Neil Diamond.
It's a Neil Diamond tribute.
It's
play,
a Neil
right?
Diamond tribute show.
So it's not the real Neil Diamond, but it's a
not the
tribute.
real Neil Diamond. Actually, the tribute Neil Diamonds are getting a lot of play now since Neil has decided that he's not going to be performing too much anymore. Yet
Right.
he still may come back. But what I do is I teach charities how to sell the tickets.
Okay.
I teach you how to bring new people to your charity. I teach you how to build your database.
Right.
What makes people come to your charity? Why in the world are they going to come to ABC charity? Why? What are you giving them that's going to make them happy?
Right.
What, a 50-50?
So basically, you're teaching people how to feed themselves.
I'm teaching them how to sell.
Right. You're teaching them how to sell. You're
Right.
teaching people how to feed themselves, how to take care of themselves. The old saying, right? You can give a man a fish and feed him for a day, or you can teach a man to fish and he can eat forever. Right.
Exactly.
So basically, you're doing that.
So now you do a 50-50 raffle. You have a Chinese auction. You have a gala.
Right.
You have all these kind of things. Boring, crazy boring.
Well, I've been to one of your shows, right? And you know, we've told that story on the
Many
show
times,
before.
right.
You know, I was in Pennsylvania, and you had a show in Pennsylvania, and you invited me to the show. I went and saw it. It was a great show. And it was the New York Bee Gees, which you got a show with them this Friday night, right?
Right.
November 2nd. You know, and, you know, they were great. They look like the Bee Gees.
And they're from Long Island.
They sound like the Bee Gees, and and they're from Long Island, and great bunch of people. And I think I've told you on a show too is I met half the band at a family party.
Yes, you did, right?
Right, where they were playing at the family party.
They play in a couple.
They're playing a couple of bands, and they mentioned that they were in the New York Bee Gees. And I went over. I go, I just saw you guys up in Pennsylvania. You know,
we do a lot of shows. We do a lot of different things. We do a lot of different types of events. But I love to teach the charities on how to excel, and how to grow their business.
People, and this is part of what I do too with my company, is teaching people these very valuable tools.
Business tools.
They're all business tools.
Exactly.
And a lot of people don't get the fact that, you know what, it's that old story, right? If you build it, they will come. Well, no, that's not the truth. You know, you hear about, oh, well, I have the best mousetrap. Well, if you have the best mousetrap and nobody knows about it, nobody's coming.
You heard my new expression, build it and they will come. Right? That's not new.
Nope.
That's old. But build it and they will come if they know about it.
If they know about it. And the thing is,
you gotta let them know about it.
So what you're doing is you're giving them very, very valuable lessons on how to go out.
How to do it. Exactly.
And get people to do it without spending a lot of money to promote it.
Or next to none.
Or next to none, right?
Next to none.
That's the key, right? These charities want to do these events. They spend a lot of money.
Scared.
They're
scared. All these charities are scared.
Well, they're scared in the sense that they're trying to raise money. They have very little money.
Have none.
And they don't know how to do it.
And they don't know how. You're 100% correct.
You know, one of the things is, we're doing a fundraiser for my squadron in the Air Force Auxiliary. We do a thing called Wreaths Across America. And Wreaths Across America is you buy a wreath and it'll be laid on a soldier's grave. And we do this in all military cemeteries across the nation. This is done across the nation.
I can help you with that. I can advertise that for you.
And we're going to talk about that after the show.
Okay.
But I'm teaching my people that it's real easy to go out and sell this because, number one, it's for a veteran that has served our country and has either given their life for our country or has passed after putting their life on the line for the country. So charities have the same type of thing because you have people that are connected in a lot of different ways with different charities. And when you go in and you're saying, hey, I'm doing something for the benefit of others, people are much more willing to give than if you say, hey, I'm just doing this fundraiser because I need more money. Is that right?
100%. They all need more money.
Right.
They never have enough money. Mm-hmm. So for them to raise more money or how to raise more money is the key. When you do a gala, you're honoring somebody.
Right.
The worst idea in the world. You do a gala, the person who's being honored has to put up about $2,500, $5,000.
Right.
Has to bring about 10 or 15 or 20 people to the gala.
Right.
If they don't do it, they don't get honored.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, well, that's typically how it goes.
I mean...
Well, I remember very early in my career, somebody called me up and said, we want to feature your business on this and this. And then, I'm like, oh, that's great. And it was like an honoree type thing. And, oh, by the way, it's going to cost you $1,000. And I was like, well, no. I don't need that.
The Boys and Girls
honor.
Club once asked me to be on the board of directors. Mm-hmm. And they said, we would love to have you there. I mean, they knew what I did. I said, she said, that would be $1,000. I said, I'm going to raise $15,000, $20,000 for you.
Right.
And you want another $1,000?
Okay. But see, they don't know any better. Right? So what you're doing is you're bringing your expertise to say, hey, stop
teaching.
Yeah, stop nickel and diming. We're going to teach you how to do this organically.
What you do. Right? You teach as well.
Yes.
You teach people how to run business, and we'll get into that a little bit later.
Right.
But that's what you do. For those of you, we mentioned that we did Donna Summer Show. April 23rd this past year, Friend Entertainment was asked to do the grand opening for the Argyle Theater in Babylon. And not only did we do the show was a complete sellout. And also, from what I understand, the bars were the biggest grossing bars of any theatrical theater.
That night?
At any night.
Okay.
To this particular point.
Right.
They held 500 seats. That's the story I heard. Whether it's completely true or not, I don't know.
Well, you had a sold-out show.
Oh, completely sold out.
Right, you had a completely sold-out show.
And we had the fire department.
Okay.
You didn't hear that story?
No.
We started to sit, the people, about 25% of the people were inside there, and all of a sudden the alarm goes off. the alarm's going off. Get the people out.
Right.
Fire department shows up. Newspaper shows up. Reporters go and show up.
And this is opening night.
This is opening night.
Right.
You couldn't get better advertising in the world than going to do this. It was just terrific.
So now you put these shows together, and you're teaching these people how to do this. When you put these shows together, you're just kind of leaving it to them to sell the tickets.
I don't
right?
leave anything to anybody.
Well, you teach them how to sell the tickets. They go out and sell the tickets, and then they run the show. How does that work? What do you do? I already know the answer to this, but I want you to...
I stage, direct, and produce the concerts for them.
Okay, so...
I make their flyers for them.
Mm-hmm.
I print their flyers for them. I show them how to drive new people to their particular charities.
Right.
I hold their hand every which way. Now, that doesn't still mean that they're going to be successful.
Right.
They fight me. They fight me.
And why do they fight you?
Why?
What type of obstacles do you run into?
Laziness.
Laziness? Is that what it is? Everybody wants everything to...
Oh, yeah, great. I love it. We're going to do this show. I love it. I can't wait to do it. Can't wait to do it.
So how do you overcome those obstacles?
You tell them you're going to lose your money.
Money's a great motivator.
What do you mean we're going to lose our money? Just what I said. I said you're going to lose your deposit, you're going to lose your money, or you're going to make yourself $15,000, $20,000. So what is it that you want to do?
Right.
I mean, it's really quite simple. And I'm dealing with business people.
Right.
I mean, just like you're dealing with business people. We're dealing with business people. You would think that they would want to do something.
Well, a lot of people think that, it's like that old thing where you see on TV, oh, there's a new amazing diet, buy this diet and you're going to lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks. They think, okay, well, I bought it. Now, I should automatically lose the weight, but they're not following the directions.
Absolutely.
So you're giving them directions on what to do and how to do it, and now you're holding them accountable, right? By saying, hey, look, you're going to lose your money, you're going to do this. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about backstage. Right? You're dealing with the acts. They're
the nicest people in the world to deal with.
I've met a few of them. Great people.
They're all used to doing the same thing.
Right.
So it's easy backstage. The problem is the people that you're doing the concert for.
Right.
And yet most of them can be really terrific people. Mm-hmm. You just need one or two of them that are going to spearhead the group.
Right. There's always
and make it happen.
There's always that one person who's very negative, right?
Cancer victim.
Yeah, the cancer. Right. Okay. And you get that one person that you're always. Everything you say, they're kind of fighting you and they're kind of putting you out, and it's a very difficult.
Oh, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Right. And then you get one person who champions. It's the old 80-20 rule. You get 20% of the people doing 80% of the work to get things done.
And there are certain charities that you can deal with on an easy,
right.
And there are certain charities that the easiest charity to deal with?
What's that?
Listen, folks, grandparents, parents, little leagues, soccer programs, sporting programs, basketball leagues. Think about the numbers.
Right.
You got, let's say, where are we? We're in Plainview.
Right.
Plainview, I don't know, we say we have 700 kids in the Little League. 700 kids have a set of parents. Right. Sometimes two sets of parents.
Right.
Well, if they have that, they got 1,400 people already. Well, they also got parents. They also have grandparents,
right,
and aunts, and uncles, and cousins, and so on and so forth. By the time you get done, you got 2,000-3,000 people that could attend if they know about it.
Right.
Now you only have 800 seats.
Yeah.
All right. $40 a shot. Mm-hmm. 800 seats. $32,000 gross. Subtract the cost of the show. The cost of the show. $14,000.
Right.
You got a profit of $18,000 from some strangers and from people that you know. How do you beat that?
You can't beat that. You can't beat that. And the thing is, you do all the prep work for them, so they don't have to think about the marketing materials and all that stuff. You give that there, right?
I've learned that when you give people a chance to think,
And some of the flyers that you create are fantastic. I mean, if we look at the one from
Steve, can you show any of these?
Well, actually, Steve, can you show the Saturday, November 17th show. Put that up. Okay, fantastic. So that's up now. Saturday, November. You know what November 17th is, right?
I have no clue.
We just talked about this one. That's right, except for my birthday. Thanks. Yes, it's my birthday, Saturday, November 17th.
Check this flyer out.
Right.
How nice is this flyer? Can you see this, Steve?
So
this is November 30th show. This is a John Fogerty tribute, a tribute to Creedence Clearwater.
So we got, you got the whole package. You provide the whole package for them, and all you're doing is saying, hey, look, you guys got it, just to cover the cost.
Just talk to me.
Just talk to me.
You don't even have to do it.
Right.
The money. The money.
You just got to go out and sell tickets.
Just talk to me.
Right.
Just have a conversation.
So how do people get in touch with you?
631-698-9696.
Looking at a camera and telling them.
631, thank you. 631-698-9696. Or you can go to my website, which is friendentusa.com. friendentusa.com.
And they can find you on Facebook as Friend ENT USA also, right?
All over the place.
Right.
Let me just mention, to give everybody out there an idea of some of the groups that I use. I don't represent anybody. I do not manage anybody. Groups. Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, Temptations, Four Tops, Supremes, Bee Gees, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Earth, Wind and Fire, Billy Joel, Rod Stewart, Santana, Cher, Janis Joplin, Kool and the Gang.
And these are all tribute bands.
These are all, all tribute bands.
Right.
All tribute bands. But a lot of them are not from New York.
Okay.
And there's a reason why I don't necessarily use bands from New York.
So why wouldn't you use a band from New York? Well, we just talked about it. You the New York Bee Gees are from New York. Why do you use them?
I'm not in New York.
And that's it, right?
They're not used in New York. They only play the Paramount.
Okay.
Okay, and that has nothing to do with me. That's their rules.
Right.
When Joe Blow and whatever is playing Gallagher's, okay, they're going in for $10, $15.
Right.
All right. Well, now the charity, the Heart Association, needs to raise $35, $40 a ticket.
Right.
Why am I paying that kind of money when I can go to the bar?
Right.
So I import a lot of groups. Stevie Wonder, Gladys Knight and the Pips. I mean, Steely Dan. I mean, I have a whole bunch of groups that we. I'm getting old.
I got you. So
go ahead. Sorry.
So you're using out of town talent because they're not readily seen, and the market is not saturated with their presence.
Exactly.
So
and
you
they don't
can
charge that much more money.
So you can get top dollar for them coming in.
Correct.
Right. So is it just tribute bands that you work with?
No, I work with anybody and everybody. In fact, I'm doing a show for the Barney Alliance Foundation come next November, and we're using a brand name group, which will be posted very, very shortly.
Okay.
And we're going to be doing that show at the Tiller Center. What I'm asking is that if you're a charity, I don't care how small the charity you are, if you are a charity, call me again at 631-698-9696 and just ask to have a conversation with me. I'll buy you breakfast, we'll have lunch, we'll do whatever it may be. Or you'll get everything.
So wait a second, you're going to buy breakfast or lunch?
For everyone but you.
Obviously. Yeah.
I'm going to buy you lunch afterwards.
Oh, yeah. You promised me lunch today.
Yes, I did.
Right, yeah, we're going to have lobster, right?
I told you, go have lobster. Yeah. Lobster, yeah. We're going to get it at the bakery.
At the bakery,
yeah. And Steve's laughing. He's laughing back there. Are we okay here on time?
We're good. So, you talked about you work with anybody and everybody, right? So there is to me and my parents and our age group, a gentleman that you're actually going to be doing a show with on November 10th, which is...
My birthday.
Your birthday, okay? And happy birthday, Norm. You're going to be 70, right, this year?
70 years old.
God
yeah.
bless you.
Yeah, crazy.
God bless you, you know?
That's crazy. Because anyone looks so young.
That's it. So tell us about the show on November 10th. Who you working with on that show?
I don't know. Who am I working with?
We got Tommy James and the Shondells, right?
Yeah, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to attend.
Really? Okay.
Because I don't know if I'm.
Where
I
is
have
that
a partner out in Pennsylvania.
So this is in Pennsylvania.
This
this
is in
show.
Pennsylvania,
So you're
yeah.
doing shows all across the Eastern Seaboard.
Yeah. In fact, I'm taking Donna. We're going out to Los Angeles. We're doing a private show next June.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We just booked that.
So you booked that out in Los Angeles.
They called me.
They called you.
I have
and they
no
went?
idea how he got my phone. I'm hooked up with Donna Summer.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's
Awesome.
really pretty good.
So I know you do a lot of shows in Pennsylvania. You do a lot of shows in Maryland.
Hagerstown, Maryland.
Right. You know, where else can we find Friend Entertainment?
Upstate New York, Connecticut, New Jersey.
Pretty much anywhere where a charity needs your services and anywhere where a charity wants to use you to raise significant dollars, not just...
We're talking significant dollars.
Yeah, we're talking significant dollars.
We're not talking about a couple of $100.
We're talking about a few $1,000s, right?
No, we're talking a few more than $1,000.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. We're talking about somebody being able to make $15,000, $20,000 on the show, right?
Depending on the size of the room. Mm-hmm. We're doing a show. We do Chamber of Commerce.
Right.
We're doing a great show in February. We're doing The Temptations and Gladys Knight.
Now, is this for the Chamber for our friend Steve K?
Yeah, for Steve K.
Steve K.
Yeah.
Steve was on the show, all right? Mm-hmm. He's been on the show, and you're doing a show for his chamber now, right?
We're doing a show for his chamber. The type of music that we kind of do is R&B, Motown, Latin, rock and roll, easy listening, you know. And if it's not on our list and you want it, like I have a Barbra Streisand show that would kill. As crazy as it may seem, we open with a Frank Sinatra.
Okay.
All right, and then we close with Barbra Streisand.
So wait a second, Frank Sinatra's opening for Barbra Streisand?
Exactly.
Who would have thunk that, right?
That's how good
she is.
That's how good she is.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That is fantastic. Yeah. Well, again, how can people get a hold of you? Because we're running out of time here.
Okay,
so
here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, pencil and paper, please. 631-698-9696. 631-698-9696. And the email address, friendentusa.com. And I thank everybody very much for listening. And I thank you very much for having me as your guest.
Thank you for being on the show.
Happy to be here.
Even though you're here every week, it's actually really good because we really don't get a chance to talk about what we do and how we do it. You know, so
wait, and now I'm going to have fun. Maybe in a few minutes and tell people
you're gonna have
somebody else does
as we transition to our next guest, because we have two guests today, right? And
you have a guest?
We have another guest, and I'll let you take it from here, my friend.
Okay.
All right.
So let's do this.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Never mind. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Business Power Hour. This camera over here, is this the one? Okay. Should we do it again? Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Business Power Hour with Darren and the Music Man. Tonight we have a guest, a very special guest, very special in a lot of different ways, socially, business-wise, just an all-around great guy who can help a lot of people grow their business. And let me introduce you to Darren Chaffee. Hello, Darren.
Hey, Norman. How are you?
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Well, gee.
That was a great transition from one show to the other.
What I was going to do is I was going to change to that seat and have you come over here.
You wanted to switch sides.
Stevie Baby hooked us up, so
we got a microphone. We'd have to do the whole thing, right?
Yeah, so that's it. All right, so
No, keep going.
What is the name of your business?
All right, so it's CBMS Consulting Services, all right? It's up there. Steve, can you pop it on the screen? You can get us on cbms.co is our website. Now, it's .co, it's not .com.
Oh.
All right? Reason being is a 4-letter acronym on the internet is very expensive when you want .com. It's not so expensive when you want .co. So I dropped the M, and it's cbms.co. You can reach us at 631-721-4347.
But I didn't ask you that. Yeah.
Right?
We have to wait for that.
Well, I know, and on Facebook, CBMS Consulting. All right, if you look us up, CBMS Consulting on Facebook, you can find us there. But what we're all about and how we got started. I'll tell you that story.
What were you doing on the ball field?
You know what? I wanted to be either a cop, all right, or I wanted to be a professional athlete. Professional athlete.
Okay.
Right, football player or a baseball player. Well,
I could see both. I could see either one.
That didn't work out. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then as I was going through high school and that, it was more drilled into my head by my mom that, like you, she either wanted me to be a lawyer or an accountant. All right. So I went to school and I decided on becoming an accountant. And, you know, I graduated from college. I went into accounting. I did public accounting. And then I went to work for one of my clients as an assistant controller.
But that was in private accounting.
That was in private. And I went to, work for a private company at that point. And then a couple of years after that, and getting my experience in helping run a company and stuff, I got approached by a consulting company that was working with our company and said, hey, you know what, you'd be a great fit. You got the right personality and everything like that. And at that time, they were implementing accounting systems. So we were working with Real World and Solomon and Great Plains, which is now Microsoft Dynamics.
That's like
ancient stuff. We're talking in the 90s when this was going on, okay? And so my job was to come in, analyze a company, and see how one of these products would fit into their systems. So it became let's look at their systems, let's look at the software, and let's how we can get them to meet in the middle, so to speak, and how we can get the systems to work together. So I got a lot of great experience in creating these systems for companies. And that's when I created back in early 2001.
Were they all accounting systems, or were they inventory systems?
No, it was accounting systems, but they had inventory components to it. But we also had CRM components, customer relationship management software that we were dealing with.
Which is huge.
Right, and we became the first, Goldmine software as a customer relationship management. We were actually the first authorized training facility on Long Island for Goldmine. Right, and I put that together. That was part of my division. We were in charge of that. So I got a lot of great experience on these software packages and how they work within companies and all that good stuff. And then back in 2001, I started CBMS. I started it as Sayafi Business Management and then morphed it into CBMS.
How clever.
Okay. And we started, and we were providing accounting services when we first came out. We're actually working for a lot of small cap companies, small public companies where we were providing, and this is like right after Enron. So we were writing the financial statements for their quarterly reports, their annual reports, things like that, and handing them off to the CPA firms so the CPA firms could audit them. Okay, because they weren't allowed to do everything anymore.
Right.
Before Enron, the CPA firm could come in, create the financial statements, then audit them. Now, because of Enron, they couldn't do that. So that's how we really started rolling.
That created a new path for you.
It created a new path, but as what we were seeing was these smaller businesses needed more guidance. And a lot of the systems that we were working with, the Real Worlds, the Solomon, that were just way too much for the smaller businesses.
They couldn't afford them.
Right. So we became QuickBooks certified pro advisors. We got involved in QuickBooks. We also got involved with a company called Xero. And Xero is not well known in the United States, but it's the #1 competitor for QuickBooks. They're huge in Europe and Australia and New Zealand.
Aren't they going to be a guest of ours?
They're going to be a guest of ours coming up. Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
A great bunch of people, right? And I became a certified advisor, and I became a certified pro advisor for QuickBooks. Just different terminologies, basically the same thing. But we do something very different. And one of the things that I saw from these small businesses was we were getting these people that were starting businesses that knew how to do what they knew how to do. They do, you know what I mean? But they didn't know how to run a business. And they
Explain that.
They would start a business, and I'll give you an example. Say an electrician, right? Very good at what he does. Can come in this room, fix these lights so they're not so bright, you know, or not so hot. You know,
Or fix the air conditioner.
Fix the air conditioner, right? Yeah, well, it's winter time now, right? So they shut it off. Fix anything. Be excellent electrician, but doesn't know how to manage employees, doesn't know how to manage their money when it comes to, you know, watching how they spend it, what they're spending it on, making sure they're getting the right profit margins, how to grow their company. A lot of people will start out, and again, I'm going to use electricians because I work with a lot of electricians. They're great at having one truck with one guy working for them, and they can manage everything because they can manage the job and they can go out. But as they grow, and now they got 2, 3, 4, 5 trucks, it gets a lot more difficult to manage.
And that's where they depend on you.
And that's where they depend on me. And that's where we really developed what we do. Okay, and what we do is we strive to help those business owners not only become better business owners, but have a better quality of life. You know, and my expertise comes from my own mistakes. When I started my business, I dove in. My business was my life. Everything I did was I was always working. I was never around. You know, it was like those important things for the kids I made it to, and but I was never, I was working weekends, I was working late, I was doing all of these things because I thought this is what my life was going to be. If I did this now, then I would be successful. Not realizing that there was no life balance. And one of the things that I do is I teach that really it's all about life balance. And, it's about going out and making sure that when you build your business, you can go home at night, put your head on a pillow, and sleep.
Okay, stop 1 second. You said when you teach.
Yes.
There is a difference, correct me if I'm wrong, when you're going to make a presentation to someone to go and get a client.
Right.
And there's a difference when you go and teach.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to qualify that.
Go ahead.
A lot of people, when they come in and they're trying to sell a client, right, will sell them, and they're presenting. When I go in to sell a client, I consult the client. I teach the client right out of the gate to show them that I'm not there just to get their business. I'm there to help them. Very similar to what we were talking about before when you said, I'm going to show them how to go out and sell, right? Sales is great, and you see all of these things, and it makes me nuts. I see all these things on Facebook, and we're going to get you more sales than you know what to do with. Well, I've had clients that have had more sales that they know what to do with, but because their business wasn't set up correctly, they failed.
Got it.
Because they couldn't support the sales. And that's what led me to actually write my book, Confessions of a Business Coach, right? Sales is more than just a good marketing plan. And Steve, if we can get that graphic up. You can get it on Amazon, okay? And you can get it on Kindle. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, you actually can get it for free.
How much is the book?
The book is $9.99. It's not a big book. It's about 170 pages, but it really talks about structure.
Can people order the book by calling you? How do they reach you?
No, actually, they can reach me. Well, they only can get the book on Amazon.
Okay.
All right. So they can go on Amazon, they can get it a lot quicker from Amazon than they can get it from me.
I got a quicker way they can get it.
How can they
If
get
they
it?
become a guest on our show.
And you know that because I've been giving the book out
Exactly
to our guests, right? So every guest that comes on the show
gets a book.
But they can go on Amazon, they can order on Amazon, they have it within 2 days. If they have Prime, they get it, shipping is free. But you can get it there. But to get a hold of us and and work with us, you can get us at cbms.co. That's our website address. 631-721-4347. is our phone number. And on Facebook, CBMS Consulting, all one word, okay? So you can get a hold of us there, and you can get a hold of us at. So this all evolved. Again, we were doing tax and accounting, and we still do those things for our clients. But one of the things that we really pride ourselves on is the attention that we pay to our clients and the advice that we give them to help them grow.
Which is what you asked me. How do you make sure that your clients become successful?
Okay. Well, and that's, you know, a great question, because one of the things that we do is we dedicate ourselves to make sure our clients are fully informed of everything that we know.
I want to change
You know?
the subject for just 1 second.
Sure.
You mentioned something about playing baseball,
Yep.
being a policeman, but you didn't tell the world about you flying
Well,
and what you're all about.
here we go. This is kind of where my life balance started coming into play, right? I realized I'm working all the time, I'm not doing anything. And we were sitting around the office one day, and we were having this conversation. It was like a bucket list conversation of what's something that you always wanted to do that you haven't been able to do. And I said I wanted to fly a plane. I wanted to fly. And I said I would love to be able to do that. Well, my next birthday was only a couple of months away, and they bought me a introductory flight. Go up, fly.
Nice.
All right, yeah. So I got up, I went for the flight.
How long ago was this?
This was back in 2003. Okay.
Wow, 15 years ago.
Yeah, so 2003, and I landed, and I said, where do I sign up? Okay, a few months later, I had my pilot's license. And then a few months after that, I actually found out about the Civil Air Patrol, which is
The who?
The Civil Air Patrol, which is the official auxiliary of the United States Air Force.
Did I do that good?
That was good. That was actually very good. We're actually part of the Air Force. So if you go on the Air Force's website, you'll see that Civil Air Patrol is part of what they call the total force. And I joined the Civil Air Patrol, and happily, almost 15 years later, I'm flying for them. Very involved in everything that goes on.
You also hold a position with them, do you not?
I hold the position. Right now, I'm currently squadron commander for a squadron here in Farmingdale. Okay.
So if I want to go to one of my shows in Pennsylvania, I could call you up and say, "Hey, Darren, why don't you just give me a lift?"
I could fly you. Yeah, we can rent a plane and we can go, because I don't own my own plane yet.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, we can rent a plane and we can go, Norm.
And we can go home the same night?
And we can go home the same night. And I can tell you this, it'll only take you a lot less time. I'll give you an example. Saturday, I'm supposed to go up to Westchester for a training exercise. Well, I'm going to fly out of Islip. It's going to take me about 15 minutes, right? Westchester from Islip's about an hour and a half drive time. So it saves a lot of time.
Years ago, when I was still in my headhunting business,
right,
back in the day, my partner and I decided we wanted to go to Atlantic City. So we went out here, we took a plane.
From Farmingdale, right?
From Farmingdale. I think it took us 20, 25 minutes. It took me longer to wait for a taxi cab in Atlantic City than it did to get to the hotel.
It's crazy, right? It's so nice to be able to get in a plane and go somewhere and say, honest to God, I've in one day been to Niagara Falls, South Jersey, and then back to Islip.
That's crazy.
Okay, so you think about it, it's less than a day that I was able to do that. Niagara Falls is what, 8-9 hour drive from where we are?
Yeah, for sure.
So, it only takes a couple hours to fly up to Niagara Falls. Then I had to fly to South Jersey, and I flew back to New York. So think about just all that area I covered in such a short period of time.
Do you look for volunteers for the Civil Air Patrol?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a full volunteer organization. We work with kids from 12 to 18.
Oh, that's
we have a
nice.
cadet program. So if you have kids that are interested in the military, and we're non-combatants, so we have no guns or anything like that, what we focus on is inland search and rescue. Okay? A plane goes missing, right? Hikers are missing, things like that. They'll call us out to go out and start searching for them. And then we'll either coordinate with local authorities or we'll have our own people on the ground that will go in and find them.
When was the last time you actually were out there patrolling? Was it the hurricanes?
Well, no, actually, no. We had, every boat and every aircraft has what we call emergency locator transmitters in them, right? Boats they're called EPIRBs, planes they're called ELTs. So in the spring and the fall, typically, a lot of these things are going off, either because people are just getting back out and flying again and they're setting them off, or people are cleaning out their boats and they accidentally trigger these things. So we're going out constantly during the year, you know, and knocking on doors and saying, hey, by the way, do you have a boat in your backyard? You know, we got a signal and there's an airplane circling above because they're saying it's right down there. We go up in an airplane and we have a ground team come in. So that's all the things that, but yeah, when a major disaster like Hurricane Michael that just came through Florida, we're working very diligently down there to assist FEMA and the local authorities in getting really good information. We do a lot of pictures. My experience was with Hurricane Sandy, right, which is about 6 years ago yesterday that it hit. So 6 years ago today, we were prepping for launch because now we were spending the next 3 weeks taking pictures. We took over 150,000 pictures of the East Coast, up and down the East Coast, of all the damage that was then provided to FEMA and local authorities so they could help with the damage assessment.
You got a pretty interesting life.
It's really turned out to an interesting life, and that's what I try to teach my clients, is that you can have an interesting life if you do it the right way, and it's not all one-sided.
I want to say something also about this gentleman so that the world will know. I have been sick and in the hospital for about 3 months. He has come to visit me. He has come to share time with me. He picks me up to bring me here. You can't buy that from anybody. And I want to say it so that everybody hears it.
And thank you for that. And I really do.
I mean it with all my heart.
But that goes into part of what I teach, right? We talked about teaching before. And it's about teaching leadership and what leadership's all about, you know. And, you know, as a leader, and you and I are partners, but I still consider you part of my team, right? And, you know, the business world has things screwed up. They have things flip-flopped. When you look at, in my experience with the Air Force Auxiliary, I get to actually interact with a lot of active duty personnel, be it Army, be it Air Force, and that. And you see that when they're doing their jobs, they're not doing it for the paycheck. They're doing it because they're dedicated to the cause.
Correct.
And they're dedicated to the people to the left of them, and they're dedicated to the people to the right of them. And as a leader, you know, what you should be doing is taking care of the people that are in your charge. That should be your motivation, not making the profit, right? In the military, we give awards and praise to those people that sacrifice themselves so others can be successful. In business, we give bonuses and big, you know.
Hey, listen, I gave you a compliment.
No, I'm just, but this is one of my teaching moments, right? So we give bonuses and we give, you know, promotions and things like that to those people that sacrifice others so the company can benefit.
Well, you deserve every bit of it.
Right? Well, no, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. No, and that's something that thank you is never looked for, never even wanted.
I understand that.
It's
that's
something
why
I do because that's what I believe. You know, you're part of the team, and I'm going to take care of the team.
All right.
You know.
So what are you going to take care of me now? So we're done?
Well, no, we got a few minutes left, right? And so we're going to continue talking, right?
Good. You have anything special coming up?
Well, I do have some things coming up, and that's what I wanted to get into, is that through the evolution of my company and the services that we provide, I've become a speaker. So it's one of the things, and on December 5th, and Steve, if you got that graphic, December 5th, I'm going to be speaking at the Miller Business Center. And I'm going to be talking about building the business owner's roadmap. And you know what, people say, well, what's a business owner's roadmap? Well,
You'll have to come and find out.
You'll have to come and find out, but it's a business plan. But it's not just a business plan, it's a life plan. It's how to integrate your business, your personal life, and get that life balance that you need. And that's really one of the things that I teach on. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's coming up, and then
I'm doing, for the first time ever, I'm hosting a bingo.
Yeah, you were telling me about that earlier. You're gonna host a bingo.
So much fun.
So I always wondered, how do they get the people to call the numbers? So they called you up and said, we need you to host a bingo.
They sent me an email and they said we'd appreciate it if you would be available.
And it's one of our friends, right? Somebody who's been on our show, right? So we can talk about Camp Good Morning.
Yep, Camp Good Morning.
Camp Good Morning's doing a fundraiser, bingo fundraiser.
I don't remember the exact date. I think it's sometime in November.
Right.
And I'm going to wait for the final okay to go and do it. But I'm going to have a blast.
You'll have a panic.
I will have an absolute blast with this. I'm not normal to start off with. So to do this with a bingo type of thing, it would be
But you
great.
can't be normal to do the stuff that you do.
No.
Nobody's normal. None of us are normal. I'm not normal. You're not normal. We all have our idiosyncrasies, but I think, it's about enjoying what you do.
We met, I guess, about 6 months ago.
More than that. Now.
Is it 6?
It's
April?
more than, April we started the show together.
Okay.
We met back in January.
We have off and become such good friends.
It hasn't taken a long time to do that.
No, it's
because we met in January. Right at the Boom thing. That's where we met.
Right.
And then I was on your other show in March. And then I came back on April. And then
you became a regular.
And I became a regular.
You're a regular.
Became a regular. Cool. I got here and I won't go home. That's it.
That's it. You're stuck. You're stuck.
So we want to thank everybody for tuning in. We hope everybody has a great Halloween. We really hope everybody enjoyed the show. So again, Norm, one more time, how do people get in touch with you if they want to engage Friend Entertainment?
If you just want to have a conversation or you want to buy tickets or whatever it may be, it's 631-698-9696. Website, friendentusa.com. You have nothing in the world to lose to pick up the phone and just say, Norman, I heard you on your TV show. Tell me a little bit more about it, or can we get together and explain to me and to my people in my group how we can raise some money with your help. That's it.
Fantastic.
And how do they do that to you?
Well, to get in touch with me, and again, I welcome all phone calls. I will sit and I will have a conversation with you, and talk about what you're going through and see if I can help you. And if I can help you, I would love to be able to help you. So you can reach me at www.cbms.co or 631-721-4347. And again, on Facebook, CBMS Consulting. So again, we want to thank everybody. Thank you for being on, Norm.
Oh, Tom, thanks for being my guest.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on.
Thanks for being our guest.
Yeah, Steve, thanks for, again, Steve does a great job on our production. Thanks again, Steve, for doing that.
He handles it all.
He handles it all.
We thank you.
Right?
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
Today's show is brought to you by Friend Entertainment USA, producing the best concerts for charities and corporations for over 30 years. And CBMS Consulting Services, control your business before it controls you. In association with Area 22 Productions, your multimedia streaming network. If you're interested in being a guest on our show, visit our website at www.bphdmm.com for more information.